What? Margin.
We have the Young Man Status Registry. Mom Shabbat.
Young man DK, Banya Howder, Banya Sharam.
Young Man DK, Banya Hawada, Banya Sharala. That's good right here.
Yeah, I'm watching that shop. Yeah, I'm watching that shop. I'm sorry, I thought you had a shot like that. La Yasharala means to Israel. Okay.
Should have checked that one.
Hapadah means turn to the east.
This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Wadah, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Sabbaah, Ratazakah, Hayah, Aisha, Maharatazah, Hayah, Hayah, Bashemayim, the Thundernow, Lakam, Kalyawam, what's the Lachlan Kawab now? Kasalak now. Kawab now. Yuala Sabaya Anawa. Banasayo Wong. Abal. Hawashanawa. Mayan. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Wahala. Wahatapara. La'ai Walanian. Aman.
In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done in earth
As it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
Our daily bread.
our daily bread.
Give us our debts.
Forgive us our debts
We forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
Lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation.
into temptation,
But deliver us
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom
And the power.
and the power
And the glory.
and the glory
Forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it. It's a cock the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Baba Koshah. The Thumla now. A cock. La Rapa'ah. Kalmaka Allah. Wa Kalmadawa. A cock. La Tahar. Hamatazarian. A cock. La Hakwayim. Hamathayim. A cock. Al Rakawa. Atama Allah. The Garshan. By Hashem Yahushua. Waraman.
In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
Power to heal all manner of sickness.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh.
Barak Lanaw.
Barak.
Waya Sharala.
Raya Shrab.
Waya Baya.
Raya.
Sapari.
Shahar.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapa'ah. Agan.
Agad.
Agan.
Agad.
Hashem Yahushua.
Hashem Yahweh. Waraman. In English, Lord, in the name of Yahushua.
Lord, in the name of Yahushua.
Bless us in Israel.
Bless us in Israel.
At the school.
And the school.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. This is Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al-Hahari. Ayan. Yaba'ah. Sorry. Sorry. Ma'ai. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayah. Waratazah. Al-Yathan. Lamawat. Regalka. Al-Yanawam. Shamarka. Anah. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayashan. Shawamar. Yasharala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Aliyah. Yamyanka. Yawamam. Hashamat. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarah. Balayala. Yahweh. Yashamar. Lakalra. Shamar. Afnapashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'afka. Waba'afka. Ma'aitha. Wa'aid I belong.
In English, I will lift up my eyes.
I will lift up my eyes
To the hill.
unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From which cometh my help? My help cometh from your house, which made heaven and earth.
You will not suffer thy foot to be
You
moved.
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall not neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh
Yahweh
is thy keeper.
is thy keeper.
Is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming in
From this time forth.
from this time forth
Even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it. This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Allahaya.
I like it.
Al-Damayalaka.
I'm going to allow the top.
Al-Takara.
I'm going to rock.
Wa al-Tashakwa.
I'll touch the spot.
Al-Takahana.
I'll tell you that I'm not.
Awayabyaka. Awayabyaka.
I want to block.
Yahamayawan.
Y'all are my.
Ra'ash. Alamaika.
I'm the mic.
Ya'ariyawan. Sawada. Wayatha Yatazawa. Wayatha Yatazawa. Al-Tazapanwaka. Marwa. Lakawa. Wana Akida. Magawai. Wala Aya Zakar. Shamya Sharama. Awada. Kaya. No white Tazawa. Laba. Yakadwa. Al-Yakad. Barya. Yakarthwa. Ahalia. Adawam. Wayashama. Alaya. Mawa'aba. Wahagarda. Gabal. Wa'aimawan. Wa'aimalat. Alisha. I'm Yashabia. Tazawur. Gam Ashawur. Dalawa. Imam. Ayawa. Zarawat. Labanya Lawat. Selah. Aishalaha. Hamajan. Kasaya. Sarah. Kayabya. Barakal. Kwayafwan. Nashamadwa. Ba'ayan dahar. Hayawa. Dama. La'adama. Shayathamwa. Nada. Yabmawa. Ka'ira. Wakaza'aba. Wakazaba. Wakatazal. Manad. Kanasa Yakma. Ashar. Amarwa. Naya Rasha. Lanawa. Na'ahwa. Alahaya. Shaya Samwa. Kagalgala. Kakwash. Lapanya. Rawaka. Ka'ash. Saba Ira Ya Ira. Wakalaaba. Dalahat. Harayam. Kantaradapma. Basairika. Wabasa Wapaska. Zabalam. Mala'a. Panyaham. Balawan. Wayabakwashwa. Shimka. Yahawa. Yabashwa. Wayaba'awa. Aya Ai. Wayakaparwa. Wayabadwa. Wayadawad. Kaya Asa. Shamka. Yahawa. Labaka. Al Yawan. Al-Kahar Rataza.
Zenigers. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
thy
enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a turmoil.
And they that hate thee,
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Against thy hidden ones.
They have said, come,
They have said, come,
and let us cut them off.
and let us cut them off
From being a nation.
from being a nation.
That the name of Israel
That the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together.
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom
And the Israelites.
and the Israelites.
Moab.
Moab
And Reed.
and the Hathorine.
Baal.
The Baal
Ammon.
and Ammon
Amalek.
and Amalek.
The Philistines.
The Philistines
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher is also joined with them.
Asher is also joined with them.
Hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of us. Say it loud.
Do unto them.
Do unto them
As unto the Midianites.
as unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Sarah.
As to Japheth.
As to Japheth.
As the brook of Kishon.
At the brook of Kishon,
Which perished in Endor.
which parents had the door.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a ram.
Make their nobles like a ram
And like Zeb.
and like Zeb. Yet
All their princes as Zeba.
all the princes as the bottom
And as Zomuna.
and as Salmona,
Who said, let us take to ourselves
who said, let us take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh possession.
Yahweh.
Almighty Yahweh,
Almighty Yahweh,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burning the wood,
as the fire burns the wood,
as the flame sets the mountains on fire.
and as the flame sets the mountains on fire.
Persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy sword.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
Oh, Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and trouble forever.
in trouble forever.
Hey, let them be put to shame
Let them be put to shame
and perish.
and perish,
That men may know
that men may know
that whose name
that thou whose name
alone is Yahweh,
alone is Yahweh,
most high over all the earth.
are the most high over all the earth.
So be it.
So be it.
So.
I got you. Put those prayers over there real quick. Shalom, Israel. We're back again for ISUPK Norcal Sabbath service. Again, this is another holy convocation that must be completed every seventh day of the week. It's what the Lord gave us to continue in our heritage. And what's so beautiful about the last part of Psalms 83 is it reminds us that we can't do this without the Most High. Like Salaki was, without the men above us that have put in the work and put in the due diligence to learn the heritage and to follow the Most High, we wouldn't even be here today. We wouldn't even be able to complete the combat necessary to build, not just build the nation, but to save the people of our nation.
That's right.
And so, like, it's just another thing. Like, Salaki, you got enemies. Pray for their destruction.
That's right.
Not on your brother, not on that Hispanic brother across the street, not on that Judite brother that you live across the hall from. Pray for the destruction of your oppressor. Pray for the destruction of the people that have put you in such a state where not only is it that you're at, like, your family thinks you're the enemy, but your own people think you're the enemy. Let's go to combat with the people that destroyed us.
Right.
So you have any opening statements?
Oh,
All right, sure. We're going to just jump right into it. We left off at the book of Exodus, chapter 35 and verse 24. We're going to start at verse 25 in the Hebrew. We'll just jump back and forth on the reading in the Hebrew between each other. Would you mind actually be able to count to see where we're going to stop for 49 verses? The water. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 35, verse 25 in the Hebrew. Wakal, Asha, Kakamath, Lab, Bayad Yahweh, Yaha, Salakia, Chawawa, Wayabaya, Awa, Matawa, Ath, Hathakalath, Wa'ath, Ha'arad, Ha'aragman, Ath, Sawala'ith, Hashanya, Wa'ath, Hashasha, 36. Oh, sorry, 26, like the water. Wakal, Hanashyam, Asherah, Nasha, Laban, Athana, Bakakama, Tawawa, Ha'aizyam. Some of these words are the first time I've read. Wahanash Habaya Abanya Washaham Hashaham Wa'ath Abanya Hamalayam La'apawad Walakashan, verse 27. Oh, sorry, I've read the verse 27, it's verse 28. Wa'ath Habasham Wa'ath Hashaman Lama Awar Walashaman Hamashaka Walaquatharath. Sluggy. Walaquatarath. Hasamyam, verse 30-29. Cal, Ayash, Wa'asha, Asherah, Nadab, Laban, Atham, Lahabayah, Lakal, Hamalakah, Asherah, Tazawah, Yahweh, La'ishwath, Bayad, Mashah, Habayawah, Banyam, Yasharala, Nadabah, Layahawa, verse 30. Waya Amar, Masha, Al, Banyam, Yasharala, Ra'awa, Korah, Yahweh, Basham, Batazal Allah, Ban, Awarya, Ban, Kawur, Lamata, Yahawada. That's someone from the house of Judah. Slacky.
Yes, 31.
And that's where I am slacky. Wayamala, Ahwa, Slacky. Rakab, that's how you say that. Rakab, Alahaya, Bakakama, Bathab, Wana, Wabada'ait, Wabakal, Malakah, verse 32, last verse. Right there.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 35 and verse 25. And all the women that were wise-hearted did spin with their hands and brought that which they had spun, both of blue and of purple and of scarlet and of fine linen. Verse 26. And all the women whose heart stirred them up in wisdom spun goat's hair. Verse 27. And the rulers brought oxen stones, and the stones to be set for the ehab and for the breastplate. Verse 28. And spice and oil for the light and for the anointing oil and for the sweet incense. Verse 29. The children of Israel brought a willing offering unto the Lord, every man and woman whose heart made them willing to bring forth all manner of work, which the Lord has had commanded to be made by the hand of Moses. And Moses said unto the children of Israel, see, the Lord has called by name Bethuel, the son of the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. Verse 31, and he hath filled him with the Spirit of God in wisdom, in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship.
So right here in Exodus, we're talking about the garment of the priest. This is the women of Israel who were brought up in wisdom. They pretty much were the ones that created all the fabrics that were going to go into the temple, that were going to go into the tabernacle. Along with that, the rulers brought these gemstones and stones of onyx for the ephod and the breastplate of the garment that Aaron would be wearing as the high priest. Along with that, Slaki, the Most High actually sent the Spirit onto a brother from the tribe of Judah with by the name of Bezalel, and he gave this brother the Spirit to be able to work fine craftsmanship with gold. And along with him was a brother from the tribe of Dan, who also was able to create these great craftsmanships for the Most High. And like we said before, that's another thing to understand when you come to this truth. It's just like the skills that you have, the gifts that you have, they're not yours. They come from the Most High. In the same way that you're an amazing speaker, an amazing dancer, amazing singer, you're great with math, you're good with words, whatever it is, you're good with your hands. You know, whatever it is that you are good at, whatever is your gift, you got to realize that it's called a gift because it was given to you by the Most High. It's not something that you can take on yourself. That's why here in the UPK we say Most High in Christ when anytime we do something great, because we have to remember it's not us doing this is the Most High. Y'all got anything on that?
No, the only thing I was just thinking about the women spun goat's hair. Oh, you know, because I think it's they were threatening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I wonder what they were making out of goat's hair. Like,
Sluggy,
like, you know,
the curtains
out of goat's hair.
out of goat's hair.
Is that right?
And Sluggy, it says blue and purple, so garments as well. Because you know that's what they would. But I'm pretty sure the curtains too of the tabernacle were purple. So yeah, and they were these. I think we went over it last week. We were talking about how big they were. These things were huge. Like we gotta go. I don't want to go back to just because we're cut on time, but like the things in the tabernacle were glorious. You know, like this was not just a simple tent. This was a tent full of color, gold. Like everything in this place was it's the most what's the word for it? Extravagant. It was an extravagant place, you know. People like to think it was just a tent in the desert. This thing was like blue, like it makes sure to say blue, purple, and scarlet. Like those colors in and of themselves, like the dyes that the things that they would have to do to get the dyes to dye the color is insane, you know. So they're trading with other people to get these things because they're most likely not creating that themselves. So this is gold, you know. Like purple was more valuable than gold at a certain point in history, you know. The color purple by itself. So yeah, this place is like this is not a light offering that the children of Israel go to the Most High. It's something deep. I'm gonna take one from there.
Right. It's the book of Exodus, chapter 35, verse 32 in the Hebrew. Walakasha. Makasha. Makasha. Makashaba. La'aiwa. La'aisha. Bazaha. Wakasapa. Wabana Kasha. Verse 33. Wabakar. Wa. It's like Shah. Abba. Lamala'a. Wabakar. Shah. Aitaza. La'aishwa. Makar. Malaka. Makashabah. Verse 34. Wala hara. Nathan, Nathan, Balabra, Hawa'a, Wa'ahal, Yaha'a, Wa'ahab, Wa'ahal, Yaha, Bun, Akia Samak, Lamasa, Lamata, done, Dan, 35, Mala, Atam, Kakama, La Aishwa, Ka, Malaka, Karash, Wakasha, Rabaquam, Bataka, Bataka, La, Waba'a, Ragman, Batawala, La'ai, Ashanya, Wabashasha, Wa'ara, Aisha, Ka, Malaka, Wakashabia, Makashaba. That's the end of 35. Exodus. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 36, verse 1. Wa Aisha. Batazala, Batazala, Wa'ahal, Ya, Wakal, Ayach, Kakam, La, Asherah, Nathan, Yahweh, Kakama, Wadab, Wana, Wadab, Wana, Bama, and Bama, Ladai, La Aisha, La Aisha, La Aisha, Ka, Malaka, Ibadah, Hakwa, Hakwadash, Laka, Asherah, Tazawa, Yahweh, verse 2. Wayakwa, Wayakwa, Quara, Ra, Masha, Al, Batatala, La, Wa'al, Ahal, Slay. Ahal ya ha, Slay. Ahal ya Wa'al, Ka, Hayash, Kakam, La, Asherah, Asherah, Nathan, Yahweh, Kakama, Balabwa, Ka, Asherah, Nashawa, Labwa, Lako, Lakwa, Rabba, Slay. Lakwa Rabba, Al, Hamalaka, La Aisha, Atya, Slay, Atha. Is this something we no, 30. Waya Kwaku, Waya Kwakwa, Lama, Malapanya, Masha, Ka, Hatarama, Asherah, Habaya Awa, Banya, Yasharal, Lamala, Ka, Ibada, Hakwadash, La Aisha, Ata, Waham, Habaya, Slay, Habaya, Alwa, Aliyawa, Iwad, Nadaba, Babakwar, Babakwar. In verse 3.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 35 and verse 32. And to devise curious works, to work in gold and in silver and in brass. Verse 33. And in the cutting of stones, to set them, and in carving of wood, to make any manner of cunning work. Verse 34. And he has put in his heart that he may teach both he and Abdullah, the son of Ashamak of the tribe of Dan. Verse 35. Them have he filled with wisdom of heart to work all manner of work of the engraver and of the cunning workman and of the embroiderer in blue and in purple, in scarlet and in fine linen, and of the weaver, even of them that do any work, and of those that devise cunning work.
Like, this is the Lord giving the gifts to Bezalel and how do you say his name? The brother damn Aholiab. Like, you have to understand, it's like even coming out of Egypt, a lot of brothers didn't have the same skills that we had then. You know, many people had already been put to death. Those that had pretty much were the slaves of the Egyptians, I would say. Let's call them the Uncle Toms.
Oh,
We didn't want no Uncle Toms working working for the tabernacle of the Most High. So in that, the Lord blessed these two brothers and other people in the camp to be able to do the work to build this great tabernacle. That's in weaving, gold work, engraving, cutting stones, in every single aspect of what we needed for that tabernacle. The Lord blessed a brother or sister in the camp to be able to do the work. So and that's everything. Like we said earlier, it's an extravagant building. This is not a simple tent. It's going to go into more detail. I think I kind of got ahead of myself saying it, but it's going to go into more detail of exactly what this tabernacle looks like. Like, what's crazy about it is like the description of it, even though it's old English and it may be hard to understand, it's still like in the same way that we have the exact measurements and description of the ark in Genesis, we have the exact measurements and dimensions of how the tabernacle actually was in this time. The Lord set out a plan that was supposed to be enacted, and they enacted it to the fullest. And so, true, that's just the. So, you have anything on that?
oh, sorry.
All right, sure, we're just going to continue on with that thing.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 36 and verse 1. Then walked Bezalel and Aholiab and every wise-hearted man in whom the Lord put wisdom and understanding to know how to work all manner of work for the service of the sanctuary according to all that the Lord had commanded.
And quick breakdown on this, like when it talks about the wisdom that he put in their heart, this is the knowledge that he's putting into their mind. Like, so when you see that in this context, when it's talking about the wisdom in their heart and those other wise-hearted men, these are the men that have been gifted the knowledge to be able to do the work to service the Most High. And along with that, Salaki, it says, according to all that the Lord had commanded. So again, like they didn't just come up with these dimensions of how to build this thing by themselves. In the same way that Noah didn't just come up with the dimensions on how to build the ark, the Lord gave them instructions on exactly and precisely what to build and how to build it. Like even when we talk about, people like to say, oh, the Bible is written by a man. No, the Bible was written by God. The Bible was written through divinely inspired men, like through men, but by God. Like, that's what it's like. This is a verse in Corinthians. Y'all know what I'm thinking of? We're talking about this is the word of God. It's logging.
The only one I got is 2 Peter.
You can paraphrase it. But yeah, that's the thing we have to remember, especially when you come into the truth and have this understanding. It's just like the book that we have, this whole entire book, Apocrypha included, this whole manuscript is given to us by the Most High. And we have to treat it as such. You can't just take part of it and forget the other, you can't just take the Old Testament, forget the New Testament. You can't take the New Testament, forget the Old Testament. You can't just believe in the 4 books of the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You got to take the whole thing because the whole thing is inspired by the Most High. If we're not a fake Israelite group here, we're going to listen to the Lord in all things that he says. You got that?
Well, it's this is 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 20, 21. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation, for the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man, but holy men of Yahweh spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit.
Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. These things are not private things that have just come from men. These things have come from the priests and prophets of the Most High who commune with the Most High through angels. And that's something that we always have to remember. Continue.
Verse 2. And Moses called Bezalel and Aholiab and every wise-hearted man in whom heart the Lord had put wisdom, even every one whose heart stirred him up to come unto the work to do it. Verse 3, and they received of Moses all the offerings which the children of Israel had brought for the work of the service of the sanctuary to make it withal, and they brought yet unto him free offerings every morning.
So with that, these men that were pretty much conscripted to build the tabernacle, they were the ones that received all the gifts from the Israelites. So these were not things that were, these things were given as an offering from the people. All the gold, all the amazing garments, the dye, the wood, all things that were built, that were used to build the tabernacle, they were an offering from the people of Israel. And the people were coming every single day to give more. Like Slagi, this is after they'd already been shown what happens when you disobey the Most High. So like, how many thousands of men got killed in a single day because they built a golden statue of a calf? These people remember that. It was a couple weeks ago. So what they're doing is they're showing the Most High that no, they're dedicated people to Him, and they're giving them the best of everything. They're not holding back anything.
Okay.
Like the Lord asked for a certain amount, and they're bringing Him more than what was asked for. And that's what we have to remember in doing this truth as well. It's like the Lord is going to ask us to do certain things, but we have to be always willing to do more. When you come into the school, you put on all black, you put your boots on, you gird up your loins, you gain rank in the school. The men above you are going to ask you to do things. They're going to give you orders to do things. And yes, it's your job to complete that order, but how about you go above and beyond in that order? In the same way that these Israelites in the Old Testament are giving more of an offering than what was asked of them, that's what we should be doing today as well. We should give as much as we can to the Most High. Be that time, money, salakia. Those are the two main things. Work, like whatever it is, give it to the Most High. Why are you holding out on Him? Why would you hold out on the Most High? Like, so you got anything on that, Allah?
Allah. So,
All right, continue.
this is the book of Exodus, chapter 36, verse 4 in Hebrew. Wayaba awa.
I'll read the next two times in Hebrew as well.
Come. Ka. Haka come yam. Ha aish. Slay. Ha aish yam. Ah. Ka. Malaka. Hakwadash. Ayam. No, slay. Ayash. Mamala Kahwa Ashra Hama Asham Waya Mar Masha La'amar Marab Yam Ha'ain Lahabaya Lahabaya Ya Slang Lahabaya Ha Maria Slung that verse 5. Ha'ai bada slung. Ha'ai bada Lamalaka Asherah Tazawa Yahweh La Aisha, La Aisha, Ata, verse 6. Wayatazawa, Masha, Waya Ibai, slow. Waya Ibai Ra, Waya Ibai Ba Yara, Kowal, Bamaka Kana, La Amar, Ayash, Wa Asha, Ah, Ya Aishwa, Iwa, Malaka, Lata Rama, Hakwadash, Wayakala, Ha'ain, Mahabya, it's like Mahabya, verse Wa'a Mala, Wa'a Waha Malaka, Hayata, Dayam, Lakal, Hamalaka, La'aikwa, Ata, Wahawata, Watar, it's like Wahawatar, verse 7. Waya Aishwa, what? Kakam, La, Ba'aishya, Hamalaka, Ah, Hamashakan, Aishara, Yara, Ya, Shasha, Mashazar, Watakala, Wa'a Ragman, Watawa, it's like Watawala, I, Shanya, Karab Yum, Ma'aisha, Kwawab, Aisha, Atam, verse 9. Arak, Hayara, Ya, I, yeah, it's like Hayara, Ya, Aya, Ha'aka, Shamanya, Wa Aisha Ra, Yam, Ba'ama, Warakal, Warakal, Arabai, Ba'ama, Hayara, Ya, I, Hayara, ya ay ha 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 mada aka laka hayara ya ay. Verse 10. Wayakabar a kamash hayara ya ay aka aka wakamash yara ya ay kabar aka aka. So in verse 11,
No, that's verse 10. 10 was the last one.
oh, 10 is not.
Yeah, 10 was the last one.
Stop it.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 36. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 36 and verse 4. And all the wise men that wrought all the work of the sanctuary came every man from his work which they made. And they spake unto Moses, saying, the people bring much more than enough for the service of the work which the Lord commanded to make. Verse 6. And Moses gave commandment, and they caused it to be proclaimed throughout the camp, saying, let neither man nor woman make any more work for the offering of the sanctuary. So the people were restrained from bringing.
If I may, just to break that down real quick, the offerings that the children of Israel were bringing to the Most High were so great, so abundant, that Moses had to give an order to stop bringing stuff to them for the tabernacle. Like, on top of them just being so generous with the things that they were bringing, this is another reason to know that not only is the white man, the small head, not the actual Jew of the Bible,
right,
because their culture is to take, and continuously take as much as possible.
right.
That's not our culture. Our culture is sluggy. Like the general brought out a couple days ago, our culture is socialism. Like that's what it is. The brothers and sisters are going to bring what is necessary and needed, and we're not going to take anything more than that.
Right.
Like in the same way, every brother's going to be a given land according to his household, is the same way that the Lord pretty much required the things of the tabernacle. He didn't want to take more than what was needed. So there actually had to be an order to restrain the people from bringing more linen, more gold, more silver, because they had already brought so much. And that just lets you know the spirit of the Most High is such a righteous thing, because we're not greedy. And you can't be greedy and follow the Most High at the same time. Those two things are oxymorons. You got anything on that other one?
Salaki started, they were, I guess one of the mayors in New York, they were trying to, one of them were, I think he's pursuing to try to be mayor, and he's trying to bring in, yeah, and he's trying to bring in some type of socialism, and people are upset. A lot of officials are upset, saying that that you can't sit up there and give these people free health care, and not free health care, but free child care.
That's crazy.
You can't give these people free child care, but what you mean? Like, how are they supposed to take care of the child and then go to work?
Right.
And then, you know.
The white man is such a goddamn devil.
That's right.
That's everything that you bring out. Because they expect people to work for $10 an hour, 10-hour days, have a family so that they can continue to work and not be able to pay to take care of their family. Like they like the white man literally still treats us like slaves. Like, even though you might get to go home and see your family at the end of the day, you still got to get back up and go straight back to that slave and struggle to pay your rent, buy food. Salakia, the days that you do have off, you got to spend at home, because you can't afford to go out like you should be able to.
That's right.
So it's like, yeah, the white man is such a devil. It's like they don't even want you. They don't want you to be comfortable. They want to have their boot on your neck, be it financially, spiritually, in whatever way they can. They're gonna want to make you struggle as a Black, Latino, and First Nation man, woman, or child.
Well, I can't, sir. It's weird at the same time because it's like they're how they push, the right wing, how they push like, oh, people need to have more children, more babies. Well, you don't have any type of benefits to even having a child because now you don't provide no free health care,
Right.
You don't provide no free schooling, you don't provide no free child care,
Right.
You don't provide any of these things. So what is the point of even now people are going to look at it like, what's the point of having a child?
And you know what's heavy about that? The heavy thing about it is because they want to create a new slave class of uneducated Blacks and Latinos.
Right.
That's really their main goal. Like they want you to have when they want to get rid of Planned Parenthood in their states because that's white people killing babies. They're not trying to get rid of it in the places where we are. At the same time, they still want you to have more kids that are uneducated, that are unparented, because you're not in the home to take care of them. They're being parented by the TV and the internet, by Instagram and Facebook. And that's all to their main goal, to make a new slave class so that they can continue what they have been doing for the past 300 so years.
Slocky, if I may.
Please.
It is designed by white men, like devil in the Bible speak of.
That's right.
And you spend more time at work than you do at home.
Man,
right?
And
the reason why, and now they don't even care about your kids' education. They do want to educate them about what? The homosexual lifestyle.
Damn, right.
Man, that's what they want to do now.
That's right.
They're trying to destroy your kids like that.
It's like an alternative lifestyle.
What?
What's on line right now?
Verse 7, for the stuff they had was sufficient for all the work to make it, and too much. Verse 8, every wise-hearted man among them that walked the work of the tabernacle made 10 curtains of fine twined linen, and blue, and purple, and scarlet, with cherubims of cutting work made he them. Verse 9, the length of one curtain was 28 cubits, and the breadth of 1 cubit, 4 cubits of one curtain, 4 cubits. And the curtains were all of one size.
Just to break that down real quick, like these curtains that are just being called curtains of linen, the colors of them were blue, purple, scarlet. And the size of them were 20 and 8 cubits, and 4 cubits. Like 20 and 8, a cubit is 1.5 feet. So 20 and 8, Salakia, that is 40, that's 30, I want to say 36 feet long. Yeah. However, like 36 feet by 4 cubits by 6 feet. So these are some big curtains. These are not just curtains that you would see in your grandmama's living room in your mom's house. These are curtains that are literally making up the tabernacle. It's going to go into detail on how many of them are actually used. Salakia, because there's when we read into how the tabernacle was constructed, it's constructed in layers.
Right.
So the inner layer, this is the inner layer that they're talking about right now. This is the inner layer with all the fine garments and gold and silver that's being used to make up the interior. And then later on, it's going to go into the outside of the exterior and the things outside of it. But right here, you got to realize is this is not these are not just regular curtains. These are curtains that are worth more in gold than they are in the weight of what they are. Like blue, scarlet, and purple. These are the colors of kings. In the thousands of years later, the Roman Empire Only royalty is allowed to wear the color purple because of how rare it is. You know, you have to be you got to be an extremely wealthy man in that society to even have the color purple and red. So let alone this is thousands of years before that, and they're creating an entire interior of a tabernacle with these fine linens. It just lets you know the thought and the amount of wealth that actually went into serving the Most High. Never give the Most High the least. Give him the best in everything that you do. So
Verse 10, and he coupled the fine curtains one unto another, and the other 5 curtains he coupled one unto another.
This is the book of Exodus chapter 36 and verse 11 in the Hebrew. Wayaish, lala'ah, takalath, ab, shapath, hayara ya'ai, ha'akath, makwatazah, bamakab rath, khan, aisha, bashapath, hayarayai, hayarayai, hakwaya tazawana, banakab rath, Hashanayath, verse 12. Kamashim, Lala'ath, Aisha, Bayara Ya'ai, Ha'akath, Wakamashim, Lala'ath, Aisha, Bakwatazah, Hayara Ya'ai, Asherah, Bamakabrath, Hashanayah, Makwabayalath, Halalath, Akath, verse 13. Wayaish, Kamashim, Quarasya, Zahab, Wayakabar, Av, Hayaraith, Akath, Al, Akath, Bakwa Rasyam, Wayahaya, Hamashakan, Akkad. Verse 14. Wayaish, Yarayai, Aizyam, La'ahal, Al, Hamashakan, Aishafya, Aisharah, Yarayai, Aisha, Atham, verse 15. Arak, Hayara Ya'ai, Ha'aka, Shalashim, Ba'amah, Wa'a Rabbi, Amawath, Rakab, Hayara Ya'ai, Ha'akath, Madah, Akath, La'aishafya, Aisharah, Yara Ya'ai, verse 16. This is the last verse, right? No, the 17. So Wayakabar, Av, Kamash, Hayara Ya'ai, Labad, Wa'ath, Shashah, Hayaraya I Labad, verse 17. Waya Aish Lala'ath Kamashyam Al Wapath Hayaraya I Hakwa, it's like a Hakwaya Tazana Bamakab Rath Wakamashyam Lala'ath Aisha Al Shapath Hayaraya I Hakabarath Hashanayath. It's the end of 17.
That was it. 17.
Yep.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 36, and verse 11. And he made loops of blue on the edge of one curtain from the self edge in the coupling. Likewise, he made in the uttermost side of another curtain in the coupling of the second. Verse 12, 50 loops made he in one curtain, and 50 loops made he in one edge of the curtain, which was made in the coupling of the second. The loops held one curtain to another, and he made 50 cheches of gold, and coupled the curtains one unto another with the touches, so it became one tabernacle. Verse 14, and he made curtains of goat's hair for the tent over the tabernacles, 11 curtains he made them. Verse 15, the length of one curtain was 30 cubits, and 4 cubits was the breadth of one curtain. The 11th curtain were of one size. Verse 16, and he coupled 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves. Verse 17, and he made 50 loops upon the uttermost edge of the curtain in the coupling, and 50 loops made he upon the edge of the curtain which coupleth the second.
So log here. I'm gonna have to get more a greater breakdown on the design of it, just so I can go into more detail in the future. But just to give you an idea, is each of these golden rings that was used were used to couple or to connect each of these curtains together. So there was 5 together. I'm not sure the order of it. It doesn't really say here, but you have to understand it's like when they have 50 on top of this, so 5 times 50 is 250. So there's at least 250 curtains being used to make up the interior of this tabernacle. I'm not sure exactly how it's connected. I don't know if it's all connected from the middle down. I don't know that. It doesn't really say, but what I can tell you is this is a lot of garments or a lot of linen being used. 250 each one, 28 cubits wide, or 28 cubits long, 4 cubits wide. It's lucky. That's a lot of linen right there. That's a lot of linen. Like 250. That's all goat skins.
Okay.
Or not. I think is it goat skins or does it say goat hair?
Goat hair.
It says goat hair. Goat hair. Like I don't know the process of what it takes to create linen or to create yarn out of goat hair, but it can't be easy. How many goats you think it takes to make that much? Like a goat by itself couldn't have more than what, like 4 by 4 feet, probably less than that of yarn, probably less than that really. Because you got to think they cut it and then they twine it together. However they do it. This is a lot of goat hair.
So Marcus, sir,
Please.
just to skin the animal. Just so that, I mean, even though it's a small size, but just to skin it takes hours.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're right. And you get less from the hair than you do from the skin.
Yeah.
Like more surface area wise, I mean. Like the skin will cover more surface area than twining the hair together. You got to realize that because that combined that condenses it into something even less than what it actually is covering. So it's just like there's thousands and thousands of goats went into the process of creating this tabernacle, not including the expensive dyes used to make the coloring of it. Salakia. And so, yeah, it's just going into detail about how these curtains were coupled together, completed together to make up the interior of the tabernacle. And the amazing thing that we have to remember is the interior, every single thing that's keeping these things together is gold. It's not shitsome wood covered gold. This is straight gold. Like it's gonna go into more detail, I think, about it, but it's not just gold, it's gold and silver. So it's like on top of it being the most expensive curtain or the most expensive linen that you could find on the planet Earth, it's the most expensive and rare metals as well. Like that's another thing I hate about like just the white people in general when they talk about the Bible. They like to think that these brothers and sisters were damn near savages in the wilderness. Like they had what is it? They had loincloths and togas. You know, it's like no, these brothers and sisters were garmented up. You think the only nice looking thing was the interior of that tabernacle? They were garmented up too. Please.
Expect them to come from caves.
Man, right? Hey, right? That's heavy. Oh, man, that's real heavy. That is what they have to expect, huh? Because that is where they come from. That's everything the brother just said. It's like they can't even imagine their ancestors looking as fly and garbed out as we did, because they're savages. They literally come from caves. These people eat their food and make their medicine out of the skull of their grandfather. Like that is not me just making. I'm not just making up conjecture. That is literally what they find in those rooms that they have in those caves up there. They find bones, like bone bowls made from skulls.
They take pride.
They take pride in that too. Can you imagine that you gonna turn your grandfather's bones into a bowl? Make it make sense. You can't. They didn't like that. That's just another thing. The white people are not the people of this book, and the culture that they have and the culture that's shown in this book are night and day. You got anything on that?
No, sorry.
All right, most sign Christ. Continue if you got any more.
No, that was it.
All right, we're going to continue into the Hebrew. Verse 18. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 36, and verse 18 in the Hebrew. Wayaish, Korasya, Nakashaf, Kamashyam, Lakabar, Ath, Ha'ahal, Lahayath, Akkad. Verse 19. Wayaish, Makasab, La'ahal, Irath, Ayalam, Ma'adamian, Wamakasab, Irath, Sakashiam, Malama'ila. Verse 20. Wayaish, Hakorashiam, Lama Shatka, I Tazaya, Shatyam, I Madiam. Verse 21. Asherah, Amath, Arak, Hakwarash, Wa'amah, Wakwatazaya, Ha'amah, Rakab, Hakwarash, Ha'akad. Verse 22. Shafya, Yadath, Lakwarash, Ha'akad, Mashalabath, Akath, Al, Akath, Khan, Aisha, Lakal, Kwarashya, Ha Mashakan. Verse 23. Wayaish Av, Hakwarashyam, Lama Shakan, Aisha Rayam, Kwarashyam, Lapa'ath, Nagab, Thayama, Thayamana, verse 24. Wa'arabayim, Adanya, Kasab, Aisha, Thakath, Aisha Rayam, Hakwa Rashyam, Shanya, Adanya, Thakath, Hakwa Rash, Ha'akad, Lashafya, Yadath, Yawa, Washanya, Adanya, Thakath, Hakorash, Ha'akad, Lashafya, Wadath, Yawa. Verse 25.
That was it.
We ran through that. Goodness,
So we get into back into it, like,
yeah, it came to you.
Verse, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 36 and verse 18. And he made 50 tetches of brass to couple the tent together, that it might be one. Verse 19. And he made a covering for the tent of ram skins, dyed red, and a covering of badger skins above that. Verse 20. And he made boards for the tabernacle of Shittim's wood standing up. Verse 21. The length of a board was 10 cubits, and the breadth of a board 1 cubit and a half. Verse 22. One board had 2 tendons equally distant one from another. Thus did he make for all the boards of the tabernacle. Verse 23. And he made boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards for the south side, southward. Verse 24. And 40 sockets of silver he made under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for his 2 tendons, and 2 sockets under another board for his 2 tendons.
okay, yeah, pretty easy breakdown for that is like even the wood that was used to construct the tabernacle is fitted with silver. I'm about to get the breakdown on what the tenon is. I'm not 100% sure on that, but simply the boards and the wood used in the tabernacle of the Most High were plated out in silver. Like that's as simple as it gets. So not only is the inside covered in gold, fine linens, the wood inside the tabernacle is covered in silver as well. I'm not gonna say covered in silver, but I'm pretty sure it's being held up by silver. So we're gonna continue with that. With the, I think the reason I went through it so fast is because they're actually shorter verses. It's just shorter verses. You have the long parts. So, yeah, you definitely have the longer verses. Okay, we're gonna start at 25 in the Hebrew. Okay, 25 in the Hebrew. So Wala Tazala. It's like a Wala Tazalai. It's like Wamashakan. Hashanayat. Lapa'at. Tazapawan. Aisha Rayam, Kwa Rashyam, verse 26. Wa'arabayam, Adanyaham, Kasa, Shanya, Adanya, Hakath, Hakwa Rosh, Ha'akad, Washaria, Adanya, Thakat, Hakorash, Ha'akad, verse 30, that was 36, verse 37. Wala Yarakafya, Hamashakad, Yama, Aisha, Shasha, Quarashiam, verse 28. Washanya, Quarashiam, Aisha, Lama Qua Taza'ai, Hamashakad, Baya Rakafya, verse 29. Wahayawa, Sawa Amam, Malamata, Wayakadwa, Yahayawa, Samayam, Al, Ra'ashwa, Al, Hata Ba'ai, Ha'akath, Khan, Aisha, Lashanya, Hamakwataza'ai, verse 30. Wahayawa. I'm not sure what that means. Shamana Quarashia Wa'adan Yaham Kasa Shasha Ashara Adanya Shanya Adanya Shanya Adanyam Taka Akwai Ha'akad, verse 31. Wayaish Barayakya Aitazaya Shatyam Kamaha Lakwa Rashya Tazalai Hamashakad Ha'akath, verse 32. That was it. Okay,
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 36 and verse 25. And for the other side of the tabernacle, which is towards the north corner, he made 20 boards. Verse 26. Verse 26. And there are 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. Verse 27. And for the sides of the tabernacle westward, he made 6 boards. And verse 28. And 2 boards made he for the corners of the tabernacle in the 2 sides. Verse 29. And they were coupled beneath, and coupled together at the head thereof, 2 to 1 ring. Thus he did to both of them in both the corners. Verse 30. And there were 8 boards, and their sockets were 16 sockets of silver, under every board 2 sockets. Verse 31. And he made boards of shittim's wood, 5 for the boards of the one side of the tabernacle.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah, that's it.
A quick breakdown. It's just continuing the construction process and the design of the tabernacle. And so each one of these boards are being held up by 2 sockets of silver. I'm not sure how the size of them, but it says the board is a cubit, I think a cubit and a half wide. So just imagine 2 things that are able to hold up like a stand. Like you guys have seen, I'm just imagining just based off the description, it's like the stands you would see like on scaffoldings, like the stands that you see holding it up, like the board, the square board, like a foot almost. So you have 2 things that are like wide enough to be a foot to hold up each board, made of silver. So it's just like they're not just sticking it in the dirt, wherever it is. These things are being held up by silver, So that's just the detail that went into creating these things as well. Like the Most High knows what He wants. He gave the instructions to do it. It's like if I'm just to go back, the reason this is so familiar is because, and I want to say maybe a month or 2 months ago, when we're in the earlier chapters of the verse. This is when the Lord first gave Aaron the instructions on what to do with the tabernacle and the garments of the Lord, of the high priest. So this is them. So before, when we were talking about the before the past, that was the Lord giving the instructions. Right here, this is them enacting those instructions. So they're actually putting in the work to do these things. Because I was having deja vu, I had to go back and check. But
it's lucky. I don't know if you came by in the scriptures on how they used to measure cubit, but I think I read it's from the elbow
to the hand. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So it's like an average. That's what it said because there's I can't remember what it was I was watching, but it was on something I was watching. They were talking about how the cubits for Moses' time is probably a lot different than what we think. So it's just like the dimensions of the ark. We may have said we know it 1.5 feet, but it's like probably there. He said that thing's probably 2 feet long. So who knows?
So what if they got like a 7-foot wingspan?
Right? Yeah. So I think this table.
It's lucky. I'm assuming it was based off the average size, man.
Yeah, average size. Yeah, it's like I ain't gonna go into here or there. That's just conjecture at that point, but. Yeah, the cubit, just the measurement in of itself, they weren't going off a drawer, so we want to say the average size man. They were probably, I don't know. At this time right here, they're our size. I know that for sure. This is Moses, so they're like us. So I would say me and Ayak don't count as average. It's probably this brother right here that would be the average size. I would say.
Supposedly the average height is 5'9".
Isn't it?
No.
What? 5'9"?
Oh, that's
In like the UK, it's like 6 or some shit.
I'm on the low end of that. This nigga is a giant.
All right, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 36, verse 32 in the Hebrew. Wakamasha. Baraya. Barayakam. Lakwa Rashi. Ya. Tazalai. Hamashakan. Hashanaya. Wakamasha. Barayakam. Lakwa Rashia. Lakwa Rashia. Hamashakan. Layarakat. Ya. Yam. Yama. Verse 33. Waya Aish. Habaraya. Habaraya. Yak. Hatayakan. Labarak, Batawak, Hakara, Hakwa Rashyam, Hakwa Rashyam, Man, Hakwa Taza, Hakwa Taza, verse 34, Wa'a, Hakwa Rashyam, Tazapa, Zaha, Wa'a, Taba'aitham, Aisha, Zaha, Batyam, Labaraya, come, slave, Labaraya, come, Wayataza, Wayata, slave, Wayataza, Tazapa, slave, Wayataza, Taza, Habaraya, come, Zaha, verse 35, Wayaish, Haparaka, the Kala, Waya Rod, Waya Rodma, Watawala I, Shanya, Washasha, Masadar, Ma'aisha, Kasha, Aisha, Ata, Karab, Karabyam, verse 36. Wayaish, La'a, Araba'ai, I'm a Wadiyah, I'm a Wadiyah, Shatyam, Wayataza, Wayatazapam, Wayatazapam, Zaha, Wawayaham, Zaha, Wayatazakwa, Wayatazak, Wayatazak, Laham, Araba'ai, Adanya, Kasa, verse 37. Wayaish, Masak, Lapatak, Ha'ahal, Takala, Ragman, Watawala, I, Shanya, Washasha, Masador, Ma'aisha, Rakam, Rakwam, verse 38. Wa'a, I'm a wide Yahweh. Kamasha. Wawa Yaham. Wataza pa. Ra'ash Yaham. Slow. Ra'ash Yaham. Wakashak. Yaham. Zaha. Wa'adani Yaham. Kamasha. Nakasha. That's the end of 38.
Read the last verse of 37 words.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 37, verse 1 in Hebrew. Wayaish. Batazal Allah. Bataza Allah. Allah. Ah. Ha'aban. Ha'aran. Aitazaya. Shatyam. Amathyam. Wakatazaya. Arakwa. Wa'aham. Wa'ama. Wakatazaya. Rakabwa. Wa'ama. Wakatazaya. Kwamatwa. Stay in verse 1.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 36, and verse 32. And 5 bars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the tabernacle for the sides westward. Verse 33, and he made the middle bar to shoot through the boards from the one end to the other. Verse 34, and he overlaid the boards with gold and made their rings of gold to be places for the bars, and overlaid the bars with gold. Verse 35, and he made a veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen with cherubims made he it of cunning work. Verse 36, and he made thereunto 4 pillars of shittim's wood and overlaid them with gold. Their hooks were of gold, and he cast for them 4 sockets of silver. Verse 37, and he made a hanging of the tabernacle door of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen and needlework. Verse 38, and the 5 pillars of it with their hooks, and he overlaid their chipolers and their fillets with gold, but their 5 sockets were of brass. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 37 and verse 1. And Bezalel made the ark of shittim's wood 2 cubits and a half was the length of it, and a cubit and a half of breadth of it, and a cubit and a half the height of it.
Man, so what's crazy about this breakdown we're going to right now is the detail that they actually go into how they created it. So they don't just go into the what they used to create this. In these verses right here, it's telling you the order in which they did it as well. So when we're talking about wood held up by silver, but this wood is covered in gold. So everything on the inside, it doesn't look wooden, it looks golden. The pillars inside of the tabernacle of the Most High are covered in gold. Everything in this place is extravagant.
God.
So it's just like Salaki, and the hooks that they use and the bars that are going through them as well, gold plated. Everything is gold plated or silver, or just an extremely expensive linen or garment. Linen. I'm not gonna say garment. Garment is what you wear. So it's just like in the same way. And what's crazy about this too is all these came from offerings of the people of Israel. This is exactly what everybody should be bringing to Commander Johnny. So when something needs to get done, you know what the people of Israel should be doing? They should be giving everything they can so that it can be completed. And let me tell you, Commander General Yohana is such a gracious man. Every year we have cookouts. We have the Passover. We have cookouts in every zone. We have the Passover and other high holy days that you can come to. The generals are paying for all of this. Yes, we pay our tithe. Yes, we pay our camp dues and everything that we have to do. But do you think that's actually going to cover all the people that are coming together on all of these different days? All the venues that have to be bought out so that we can commune together? Let me tell you something. The generals are such gracious men that they don't ask for more, because they have more than the right to ask for more of us. But they understand we're in the same condition as our ancestors in slavery. So these gracious brothers have mercy on us, and they pick up what we are not able to carry. So like along with that, it goes into 37, which will be gone into by Ottawa Kabbalah next week. We just went over the beginnings of the ark, the measurements of it. With that, you want to call us out? You want to call us out on the module?
Hey, Sloppy,
Oh, please.
Say,
Please.
real quick.
Please.
I just realized that, what is his name? Bezalel and Uri, remember Most High blessed him.
Right.
You right. You would have been right along with him. You a carpenter yourself. I forgot.
Man,
He blessed me with that too.
we're going to talk about that.
Well, yeah.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Come.
Responded.
Oh, shit. You said, oh, yeah. Okay, let's respond to that real quick. This is a question from Jessica Raymond. When will you guys and the IUIC get together? Commanding General Yohana has already put out a place to call all these other camps back home to the ISUPK 1 West. Start on 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. The invitation has already been sent. Only time you're going to see a brother like that together with us is when they put on all black, get on all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf, and they follow the orders given to them from Commander General Yohana and the man above them.
That's right.
Otherwise, we are not affiliated with any other Israelite group, church, any type of organization that you see outside of 1 West under Commander General Yohana. Christians, Muslims.
IUIC.
Man, right.
Christians.
So let me tell you, you're never going to see us together with them. The only time they're going to have to come and get in all black and get with us.
Stop being Christians.
All right, stop being Christian. Most I agree. Right. All right, you got that?
Mother.
Come.
In Israel, I'm going to give one courteous salute to the teacher. In Israel, Mother Sabbath. Mother. Rock. Yahweh Shemi Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahweh Shemi Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahweh. In Israel, I'm going to give one courteous salute to the sisters. In Israel, Mother Sabbath. Mother. Rock. Yahweh Shemi Yahshua. Yahweh. Pastor Smith.